Welcome to Theme Weavers, your weekly wisdom for weaving yoga themes into your classes to inspire your students. We're your hosts, Heidi
and Farron.
Welcome, Theme Weavers. Today we're going to look at how to deliver a Dharma talk and weave the theme of Yoga Sutra 2.1 into an autumnal equinox yoga class. That's right. Today is September 19th, and the autumnal or fall equinox lands on the 22nd. So you have a few days to prepare if you're listening to this live. In case this is the first episode you're listening to, please check out episode 2 of the Theme Weavers podcast for details and background on the structure of how and why to weave themes through your yoga classes. If you choose to use today's teaching on Sutra 2.1 and the autumnal equinox as your theme while using the gift of our inspo sheet, then please find a way to turn our voices into yours. Make this theme authentic to you specifically. Can I also just say the word autumnal makes me laugh in my brain every time I say it.
Let's not say autumnal then. We'll just call it the fall equinox.
I kind of like saying autumnal. I would never say it in the real world, though. It would just be fall.
Yeah.
It would be fall, which is my favorite season. P.S. By the way.
Nice.
And lastly, just a quick friendly reminder that if you enjoy Theme Weavers and the content we have been sharing, please leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcast. Follow our show and also find us on Instagram to keep up to date with some fun reels and posts that we share. We're so grateful to each of you who listen, and the more you share and interact, the more energy and excitement that it's sending us. Also, let us know. We are trying out some new equipment today. We bought like fancy mics and these like windscreen things to go around them and behind to help with sound. And now there's like video podcasts that we've tried the last few times. So just let us know if you like these things, if you notice a difference. They were not cheap. So if you don't notice a difference, tell us and we'll return them. But like, let us know these things. Please, we're investing in you all. So we want to know how it's landing if you don't mind sharing. Please and thank you.
Yay. Sweet. Thanks, Heidi, for getting us started. Before we jump into the Dharma talk on the sutra and the fall equinox, I wanted to share a quote that I think fits perfectly from Deepak Chopra. In the process of letting go, you will lose many things from the past, but you will find yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah. This definitely reminds me of the fall equinox, or of fall in general, because trees have to let go of their leaves, but they're still a tree. They find their strength and their resilience even in standing naked with no leaves.
And they don't fight the process, right? Like you don't see a tree being like, God damn it, I just can't lose you leaves. You're mine. Like I must grip. I resist you leaving me. No, they don't do that.
Maybe they do and we don't realize that they're doing it.
Oh my God, what if we just don't speak tree? Shoot.
Who knows?
I'm lying. The trees are speaking and I just can't hear them.
All right, so let's take a look at Sutra 2.1. The Sanskrit for it is Tapa Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhana Kriya Yoga, which translates to Kriya Yoga, the path of action, consists of self-discipline, tapas, self-study, swadhyaya, and surrender to a higher power, Ishvara Pranidhana. We've kind of talked about all of these in like past episodes, like singularly, but this one kind of like tells you the path of action is all three of these together.
Mm-hmm.
So Chopra's quote aligns well with the principles of tapas, the discipline to let go, swadhyaya, the self-study to understand what to release, and Ishvara Pranidhana, the surrender to what comes next. Can you imagine if that like trees, instead of dropping their leaves, tried to like drop something else? Because it like wasn't the right thing to release. They're like, I'm going to get rid of that.
Like their bark.
Their roots. Or their bark.
They would just they'd fall over.
Yeah.
They just nature
have
nature just
the discernment.
And they just know what to do because they're nature. They don't try and resist it and fight it, and then something else might fall apart. That's right. But like we can learn a lot from trees.
Yeah. I really like where this is going. All right. I said I really like where this is going.
Yeah. So and are you also thinking about like in your brain the green cover of the Giving Tree?
Now I am. Yeah.
Power of suggestion.
Oh, I love that book. That was such a sad book.
It is, but like it's not. It's life.
Yeah.
Life you sound sad about it. I mean, life can be sad. It can. Are you crying a little bit?
No, let's keep
Okay.
going. All right. So it reflects the equinox's natural symbolism of balance and transition, encouraging us to embrace the shedding of old layers and patterns to reveal our true selves, just as nature prepares us to enter a more introspective phase. Are you tracking? Are you on board?
Yeah, I am. And I'm
Okay.
also thinking about what other animals shed things and whether or not we just don't understand their language or if they just are actual nature and don't resist and they just shed, right? Like, do you think a snake, every time it's going to shed its exoskeleton, is that what it's called? Their skin is like an exoskeleton, right?
Maybe.
Or do you
Yeah.
think that they're like, I'm not ready. I can't have this happen. I really like my old skin. Like, I don't want to do this. Why does this have to happen? Or do you think they're just like,
Yeah, like, oh, it's just part of life. Okay, cool. Let's go with it. Yeah, I don't know. We don't speak animal, so we'll never know.
I mean, I do speak Millie, my dog. We do communicate and like word for word, we get each other. But
Yeah,
other
but like
animals.
imagine like now I am thinking of like a snake shedding its skin and like it's pretty ugly like during the process. It's cool afterwards because then they're like bright, shiny, and new, and they're like dead skin that's just hanging out is like also kind of cool to look at. But like during the process of shedding, it's pretty gross looking.
Gruesome? Is it gruesome? I've
Yeah,
never seen
they
it
look
in
all like
action.
flaky. Oh yeah, I've seen it, and with like lizards too. Like it's not like a full body all at once, but it's like their skin just like gets all gross and comes off.
Well, it's also, I saw a video the other day. It was a sped up, maybe you shared it. I don't know who shared it. It was like a sped up metamorphosis of a caterpillar to a cocoon.
Yeah, Kelly shared it on Tower Yoga.
Okay, that's where I saw it. It was really, it reminds me of that. Although that's changing, not shedding, but they are shedding what they once were to become something different. And I wonder if they know, like, what do their brains tell them? Do they know, like, right now, this is the last moment of me ever being a caterpillar?
I don't
Or does
think
it
they
just
know.
happen? They
It
don't
just
know.
happens. It's just nature.
It's so interesting. Yet we are nature and we have conscious thought and we really resist.
Yeah.
Like any change, any shedding, any letting go, we cling for dear life.
Yeah. So the sutra is trying to tell us like to not do that. That's how we can be more one with nature, more one with universal consciousness, and like be more at peace if we just stop freaking resisting.
Yeah, because that's what it all comes down
Okay.
to, right? The whole thing is to teach us how to not suffer and to
Yeah.
be present.
Yeah.
And like when we cling to things, we suffer, we resist.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go
All
with the
right.
Dharma
What's your
talk.
Dharma talk? Do you have one?
Let's do it. Yes.
All right, cool. I
All
want to hear
right.
it.
So I'm going to talk to you as if you're my student. We're in
Okay, I'm
class.
sitting nice and straight. I'm ready for it.
Welcome, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today, as we come together to practice, we find ourselves in a special time of the year, the autumnal equinox, fall equinox. This is a moment when day and night are perfectly balanced, an invitation from nature to pause and reflect on the balance within our own lives. In the light of this natural phenomenon, I want to share with you a Yoga Sutra that beautifully aligns with the theme of balance and transition that the equinox embodies. It's Yoga Sutra 2.1. Kriya Yoga, the path of action, consists of self-discipline, tapas, self-study, swadhyaya, and surrender to a higher power, Ishvara Pranidhana. Let's get into these three elements. Tapas, or self-discipline, is about cultivating the inner heat necessary to burn away impurities and distractions. During the autumnal equinox, we can see the world around us beginning to shed. Trees lose their leaves, and nature prepares for a quieter time. This is a call for us to engage in tapas, to look at our own lives and ask, what can I let go of? What no longer serves my growth or well-being? Just as the trees shed their leaves, we can shed our habits, thoughts, or behaviors that no longer align with our highest self. This requires discipline and the willingness to face discomfort, just as the shortening days of autumn lead us to turn inward. Next up is Swadhyaya. The equinox is a perfect time for Swadhyaya or self-study. As the outer world begins to slow down, we're invited to turn inward and reflect. This is not just about analyzing ourselves, but truly observing our thoughts, patterns, and intentions. Swadhyaya is about asking ourselves deep questions. Who am I beneath the roles I play? What are my true desires and fears? What patterns of thought or behavior have I outgrown? The equinox, with its balanced light and dark, teaches us that reflection is a way to bring light into the shadows of our consciousness, illuminating what we may have not been aware of before. Through self-study, we can find balance between knowing ourselves deeply and accepting all parts of who we are. Finally, Ishvara Pranidhana teaches us the art of surrender. As we witness the natural world preparing for the stillness of winter, we're reminded of the importance of letting go and trusting in the unfolding of life. Surrender is not about giving up, but about releasing the need to control every outcome and trusting in a higher power, the universe, or whatever we consider to be the source of creation. The equinox is a reminder that life is cyclical, that there is a time for action and a time for rest, a time for growth, and a time for letting go. When we surrender, we align ourselves with the natural rhythms of life, finding peace in knowing that we're part of something greater. So how do we integrate these three in our practice and our lives? In the same way that the equinox brings equal parts of day and night, we can bring balance into our own lives by integrating these three aspects of Kriya Yoga. Tapas gives us the strength to cultivate what is beneficial. Swadhyaya provides the insight to understand ourselves deeply, and Ishvara Pranidhana allows us to release our tight grip and trust in the flow of life. Together, they help us navigate the transitions and changes we face, not with fear or resistance, but with grace and acceptance. As we practice today, let's carry this theme with us. In each pose, find the balance between effort and ease, between action and surrender. Let's honor the wisdom of the equinox by committing to the practices of self-discipline, self-study, and surrender. And let this practice be a reflection of the balance we seek to cultivate in our lives.
This is awesome. And it's so interesting because I'm sitting here thinking about tapas and how the Dharma talk you just gave is very reflective and slowing down and going inward and releasing. And to me, I've always thought about tapas as the opposite, like going outward, fire, like getting bigger and burning brighter. And yet we also need that same tapas in order to go inward and slow down and get reflective and figure out what we need to let go of. So it's cool looking at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, discipline in a different way.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. All right. This is great. I think that you have inspired your students. And if I gave this exact same Dharma talk, my students too, with this Dharma talk on the theme of Kriya Yoga and balancing discipline, self-study, and surrender to guide us into the new season. Do you know why it's my favorite season?
I'm like, it's not your birthday season. Halloween?
No, gross. What? Do you know me?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ew.
We both don't like Halloween.
Are we even friends?
No, I don't know. Why do you like fall? The weather?
Yes. When you wake up and the air is crisp and it's cool and you can throw on a flannel, but then the day goes on and it gets warmer and you can wear like your Birkenstocks and a tank top, but then at night you need like your cozies again. And then the air is drier, so the leaves fall and it makes that crunch, crunch, crunch sound as you walk. And then you can go apple picking and pumpkin picking and all the fall New England things that you probably don't have out in Fresno, California. And that's why it's my favorite. You're missing out.
We get a week of fall. It's like summer, 1 week of fall, winter.
That's so sad. No, that's so sad. All right. Well, good enough. That's why I love it. So let's go over some of the phrases we might use during the practice to remind students of this teaching. Some options I like to use are nurture the right conditions for change, shed outdated beliefs about yourself and your practice. I like that one. Use tapas to engage in the posture, then notice where you can soften and let go. Hold the posture with swadhyaya. Notice what arises within you. What can you learn about yourself right now? I like the self-inquiry. That's good. Release the tight grip and trust your body in this posture. That one I have feelings about, but yes.
I knew you were going to. That's why I left it in there.
Why am I going to?
Because you said that body is like a triggering thing, especially like trusting in your own body can be very triggering. Yeah.
You listen. I like it. Also, just like releasing It's so funny because I talked about this when I was teaching today, like observing where you are holding on to tension and where you're gripping, and then discern if it's safe enough for you to soften that tension. Because sometimes we grip in order to protect ourselves physically, energetically, emotionally, and it's actually serving a purpose in that moment. So like you don't necessarily have to choose to let go of it, but can you at least become aware of where you're holding? Anyway, that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah, I like that. We can use that as a phrase instead.
I mean, you don't have to, just my thoughts. Tapas is staying, Swadhyaya is observing, and Ishvara Pranidhana is releasing. How can you apply these now? Oh, I like that. I love the questions. You know, I love the questions. You teach, you question.
Me too.
Now, this one's nice and simple. I also really like nice and simple. The last one that we had was stay, observe, release. I also feel like I'm training my dog when I say that sentence, though. Like, get rid of anything else other than the very minimum of what needs to be said. Stay.
Yeah.
Observe.
I think those two like work
Release.
together though, because like you explain which is which. Tapas is staying, Swadhyaya is observing, Ishvara Pranidhana is releasing. So then like later in the class, it's just like a reminder: stay, observe, release.
Faux shizzle. That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Like
Faux
it.
shizzle?
Who are you?
I don't know.
Okay, hi Dizzle.
Oh, hi Dizzle, faux shizzle. That was amazing.
Snoop Heidi.
Snoop Heidi. This is great. All right. So I think that that's enough of our thematic three-line phrases. There's a lot there that you can choose from. So let's chat about how we bring all of this alive in the class. What additional things do you think we should hit on? Things like peak poses or specific pranayama or really anything else related to Sutra 2.1 or the fall, right? Like it doesn't have to just be 2.1, but the connection between.
Yeah.
I mean,
the obvious, right? Tree pose.
Yeah. But I love doing tree side plank.
Yeah.
Like the tree's let go of its leaves and now it's fallen over by accident. So like tree's nice. What's like a non-obvious one?
I didn't think that far ahead. Something else that sheds, like a bird. Molts. They molt. Lizard. Lizard shed.
Oh, lizard.
We like our twisted lizard peak posture.
I just taught that on Tuesday.
I know you did.
Talk too much. Okay, lizard does shed. I mean, any like cobra, maybe upward facing dog, which is like an element-ish of a cobra because cobras are snakes and they shed their skin.
Yeah. And dogs shed their fur.
If you have a dog with fur on hair.
Yeah, but not in fall, right? They do it like in springtime to shed for the summer.
I have a hair dog. She never sheds. She sheds the way that I shed. Her beautiful curly locks.
I'm shedding so bad right now. They told me that
from your shots.
Yeah, it's from the shots that it was going to cause hair loss. And I was like, no, I barely have any. And now I have less.
Oh my gosh, tell everybody what you just did because it's such a miracle. It's so amazing what you just did. Tell the world.
Oh, I donated my stem cells for my son so he could have a stem cell transplant, also known as a bone marrow transplant. But it's more sophisticated. Yeah.
You shed your stem cells for him?
Yeah, I did. That's so crazy. They gave me shots to release my stem cells into my bloodstream so that they can harvest. Shots? Yes, the shits and giggles shots. No, actually no. So there was like, it's called like a GCSF shot, and those ones were like fine, like no side effects except for like soreness. But then the other shot, it's called Mozabil, and that's like to help mobilize like more. It's like stronger. That one is the shits and giggle shot. It made me feel really high. I was like cracking up. And then they also told me to take Imodium beforehand because I was going to have diarrhea.
And then how could you laugh with diarrhea?
Exactly.
Like
it's crazy. But anyways, it didn't happen. I didn't get diarrhea, so that was great.
But you did giggle.
I did giggle a lot. But
That's funny.
So then they collected my stem cells and they put them into his body. So now he's going to have my immune system.
Yeah. And so some of your side effects are happening because of that. But that's just part of the process.
Yeah.
I know. It's tough though.
It's okay. I can shed.
You have other hair. If you need some, I can give you some of mine. I have a lot of hair. Like so much hair. Could you imagine if you had like random curls put on top of your straight ass hair? This is my friend's hair.
That would look
She's
wild.
helping this bald spot. It's love. It's love. It's
Yeah.
amazing what you did for him.
Thank you.
I did join the bone marrow list though, in case it could be me.
Yeah.
This
True.
little white Jew in Massachusetts was not picked though. But seriously, why were we just talking about that?
Things shedding.
Oh, right.
Postures,
Your hair.
poses.
Your hair shed. That's
hair
right.
shedding.
Snakes. Sphinx. Is a sphinx a snake?
No.
No. What's a sphinx?
Like a lion. Something.
Is it mythical?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a giant mythical
all those
cat.
belly down poses. I get them a little confused sometimes. Sphinx, cobras, king cobras, upward dogs, downward dogs. Okay. Anyway, I do actually know how to teach yoga, I promise. Okay, so we have tree, we have maybe like a upward dog / cobra-ish type thing. Let's see, what else would be? I mean, you could be really creative and do like a bridge pose where you're bridging between the seasons. Or something. That's not really creative,
Okay.
actually. That's like not creative at all, but
No,
I'm
I
trying
like it.
okay. What
Yeah, I think it
else?
just needs to be kind of like an effortful posture. Like I like upward facing dog because I usually don't teach that anymore. I just teach like cobra.
Same.
So an up dog would be good because it's like effortful and you have to like know when to hold and grip and then what to like release tension from. So I think that goes with the sutra.
Yeah. I also think hard poses in general, you can remind people like the gripping of your toes and the gripping of your jaw are not things that you need to hold on to. Because like I'll look around the room and I'll be like, oh geez, their toes are like white. They're gripping. Holy hell with their toes so they don't fall over. Like something in balance, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny where you see people grip tension that does not support them in a posture at all.
Yeah.
Pranayama? To me, it would be, I forget what it's called, but like where you just focus on the exhale. Like the inhale. Is that even a thing?
I don't know.
Like I feel like take a natural breath in through your nose and make the exhale just really long and slow through your nose as you let go of the breath. And then at the bottom, can you hold the breath longer than you think you can, right? Before you take that next breath in, can you sit into that fall of emptiness? And then you refill. And then a long, slow exhale again. Hold once you're empty. And if you're feeling this desire to breathe, pause. It's okay. There will be another breath on the other side, but can you surrender into that emptiness for a moment? Okay, now fill up again.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know what that's called, though. I mean, I just like totally made that up. But that's okay.
It's probably something.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
That or like if you're going more active, like lion's breath to me is always a letting go breath.
Yeah.
I love any excuse to be like, ooh, if you're doing a cobra.
Oh, yeah. That works.
Do you have any ideas?
No, I like that one. The first one and the second one.
Okay, but now I don't remember which one was anything. Oh, like
the
focusing on the exhales? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the breath retention at the end.
Cool. We've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine as a family. Did you ever watch that show?
No.
One of the cops always goes, cool. Like he says cool really, really quickly. Never something's not cool. And I just did that by accident. Yep. Okay. Anything else that you can think of related to this? When you were giving the Dharma talk, I was singing the song that you probably don't know. Maybe you know, to every season, turn. There is, like that. I think it's from the Bible, actually. Was it Peter, Paul, and Mary? I don't know.
Really?
But you're like a time, because you were listing all the things that like a time for.
Yeah. So that could be thrown on the playlist, maybe.
Probably not. I would never put that in a yoga class, but I mean, maybe it's the pre-class or the post-class. My butt really hurts
Yeah.
right now. I'm sorry. I'm like
Uh-oh.
wiggling. Ugh. Tried a different stool to sit on with this new setup. Not a good idea. Next time I am not using this stool. My tushy hurts.
Mhm.
You're welcome, world. Now you know about my butt. That's why I'm awkwardly, if you're watching this in the video version, I look like I'm got ants in my pants. All right, cool.
What else
I think
we
it's
got?
good. It's pretty good, right?
That's good.
All
Yeah.
right.
Mudra. Meditation.
Sure, there's a mudra. I don't know it off the top of my head. Meditation, just like, I'm not really into guided meditations that much. I'm more into like setting them up physically and then giving them sort of mantra to think about. But you could do a really lovely guided meditation or shavasana where like walking through a forest and watching the leaves surrender from the trees and hearing the sound of your feet as they step over the crunchy leaves and feeling the cool breeze on your skin. Like you could talk them through.
Like a visualization.
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was also thinking about like the way that you have been meditating, and I forgot where you learned it from, but like where you can open your eyes. Blissmore?
This name is
that what you
about
said?
Blissmore by Light Watkins.
Okay. Because you talk about how like you can open your eyes and like look at the clock. You don't have to just like sit there until the timer goes off and like be stressed out about like how much time you have left. So I think that's really good about like the letting go of like it doesn't have to look a certain way.
Yeah. You also don't have to be sitting upright on a cushion or the floor. You can be on your couch leaning in a very comfortable position because the goal is not like how uncomfortable can I be and can I stay? The goal is like, can I get myself comfortable and just breathe and repeat this? I use the mantra aham on my head, in my head. So in every inhale is an ah, every exhale is a hmm. And when I get lost, I start again. But like if I'm uncomfortable, how are you going to quiet your mind? Because all you're going to think about is like, oh, God damn it, I got an itch on my cheek and my back hurts from sitting and my butt is like so stiff and all I want to do is move, but I'm not allowed to move. And then I'm going to fail at the meditation. You're like, no, just like get comfortable. There's no rules. Like let go of the rules.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing to point out for this type of class.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like that.
Cool.
All right, so yoga teachers, if this conversation inspired you to teach a class on Sutra 2.1 for the fall equinox, then please download our pretty inspo sheet found at themeweaversyoga.com/episode 48, where we list out additional inspiration to help take your class on this theme to the next level. On that sheet, we include some inspirational quotes, some songs that bring the theme to life, as well as mantras, mudras, specific pranayama, postures, and meditation to weave into your classes.
Yeah, sounds like a good class, whatever we pick.
Yeah.
For our peak posture and stuff.
Yeah,
cool.
I agree.
So I would love to teach this on the fall equinox. So we'll wrap it up with our reverse Dharma talk. So students can carry the intention with them off their mats. And it might go something like this. As we come to the end of our practice, let's take a moment to reflect on the themes we explored today. The autumnal equinox reminds us of the importance of balance between light and dark, activity and rest, holding on and letting go. Yoga Sutra 2.1 teaches us to cultivate self-discipline, self-study, and surrender. It's through discipline that we find the strength to stay present. Through self-study, we gain insights into our true nature. And through surrender, we learn to trust in the flow of life and the changing of the seasons. As you step off your mat today, carry this balance with you. Embrace the changes and transitions with grace, knowing that each moment is an opportunity to practice effort, reflection, and letting go. May this equinox inspire you to find harmony within and around you. Now go to our website, themeweaversyoga.com/episode 48. The link is down in the show notes, and request the inspo sheet for Yoga Sutra 2.1 and the fall equinox to help you bring this theme alive in your own voice, in your own practice and teaching. Then please reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, or email us and let us know how it lands. We're here to support you, fellow yoga teacher, in your class preparation and delivery. So let us know how we can be of the most support. Tune in next week for another episode of Theme Weavers, where we'll help you feel prepared to go on and inspire your students in your next class. Until next time.
We leave you in peace.